right to show. Come on, won't you stretch your skirt? I know it's easy enough, but boy, your blues. Boogie your blues away.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the 2013 Fungus Fair After Hours Dinner. I am Chef Thomas. I hope everyone enjoyed the soup. We have more goodies to come. So just to talk about the soup a little bit, it's a cremini mushroom and porcini mushroom soup. And there's no cream in the soup itself, just the crème fraîche that we add. And yeah, it carries a lot of flavor. Glad you enjoyed it. Also this evening, I prepared wild mushroom tart. There's some candy cap and Chanterelles and Trumpet Royale in the tart. We have a really nice mixed vegetable for you as well. Also, I just want to say before I get into the food, I'm using organic, I'm using local, I'm using good stuff as much as I can. I mean, we live in the bread basket here, you know, so it's just crazy not to. It's so good. It makes my food, Oswald's food, so good. The bounty of our area, for sure. So the vegetable, broccolini from Happy Boy Farm, baby carrots from Happy Boy Farm, baby fennel from Happy Boy Farm. There's some Trumpet Royale and also oyster mushrooms. The trumpets are cultivated. They're cultivated by a farm called Mycopia, and they're in Sebastopol, California. Also serving mushroom bread pudding this evening. Crowd pleaser. So there's dairy in that one. There's cream. There's grana padano cheese, leeks, onion. Baguette is the bread that I use for that, and the mushrooms. There's porcini, there is cremini and Trumpet Royale in the bread pudding, and I mounted the sauce for the bread pudding, the custard, with truffle oil. So there's going to be a nice truffle flavor associated with the bread pudding. Yummy. And to bring up the rear, on the entree, we have local pasture grazed beef, and the cut I selected was ribeye, and it's really nice. I just sampled a piece, and I think you guys will enjoy that. And I did a mushroom glaze to go over the top of the ribeye, and there's a little red wine in there. There's a little this. There's a little that. Some wild mushrooms, some porcini, some candy cap in there. So you're going to find a lot of flavor in that. And for the dessert course this evening, we're doing candy cap creme brulees, and I made those for the first time last year for this event, and that dish just blew my mind. So you guys are in for a treat, and here we go. Let's have some fun. I forgot to mention the fact that there's tons of masutake mushroom in that meal as well. The bread pudding had masutake, the sauce for the beef had masutake. People were having questions about the soup. The base ingredients: onion, leek, sweet potato, cremini, porcini. That gets it done. Enjoy.
Winemaker Jeff Emery. So I'm owner, winemaker, bottle washer, truck driver, forestry for Sacred Butcher, This, I just completed my 34th harvest season working in the Santa Cruz Mountains with grapes, so it seems to be what I'm doing if I grow up. Santa Cruz Mountain Vineyard brand was established in 1975 with the idea of focusing on Pinot Noir in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and we still do that. Wine will be a Pinot, which I'll tell you about in a moment. The wine we started with, though, is on the relatively new sister brand that I started a few years ago when I fell in love with Portuguese and Spanish varieties that are now grown in California. And so I launched the Quinta Cruz sub-line, where we do Touriga, Graciano, Sazao, Tempranillo, Verdelho, Albarino, all kinds of Iberian varietals that are now grown in California. So it's the first brand in the U.S. to be California Iberian, and I believe it's still the only. Tempranillo is the one that's just really leading the brand. I double production of Tempranillo every year, and I'm not keeping up. And I think its charm is that it's as food diverse as Pinot. It's one of those varieties that if you're two people having a 4-course meal and you want one bottle of wine to work for that meal, Pinot Noir can usually do it. And I think Tempranillo can as well. Well as, you know, even if it's a really nice Syrah or Cab, often it only works at the bottom of the menu. So I think that's part of Tempranillo's popularity. Part of why we don't know it is it's got at least a dozen common synonyms and 60 known synonyms. So it is the single most planted red variety throughout Spain and Portugal. It's everywhere there, but you know, in the north of Portugal they call it Tinta Relish, in the south they call it Aragonés, in Rioja they call it Tempranillo. So you probably drink it all the time if you drink imports from the Iberian Peninsula, but you don't know it because they call it different things. So our whole style has always been much more European. We think wine's first duty is to dance with food. I love to cook, I love to eat. Been in the Mushroom Club for a couple of decades. So I think wines should not have tons of alcohol. They definitely should not be made out of raisins, and they should not be pounded with oak to the point where you can't taste the food and only taste the oak. We've always been that way. The market sort of swings from one side to the other and goes back and forth. And while I have the floor, since there's a lot of us to move through the line, I'll introduce the Pinot as well, which is going to go with the next course. Santa Cruz Mountains is a great place for Pinot Noir. We have warm enough days to get maturity, but cold nights to keep natural acidity and brightness. We also get a lot of character. I think it might have to do with the forest that surrounds our vineyards, almost like the French talk about the Garrigue in the south of France, where the southern French wines have that character of the Orly Chaparral type herbs. I think we get a similar thing in the Santa Cruz Mountains from the forest. And a good Pinot, in my opinion, should be a lot more than just strawberry soda pop. It should have dried leaf and earth and definitely mushroom kind of characters. And that's what I love about the variety. It kind of goes with everything, and it resonates with certain things in many different kinds of foods. So feel free to ask questions, share with your neighbors. You know, we sort of put bottles out, and you know, don't drink it all yourself. Pass it around. There's plenty to go around. So if your table has run out, just look around and feel free to get up and grab one. They're open source. Enjoy.
There's a killer silent auction here. We got some great stuff. Stick to the incremental bids. Most of it's 5, but it's a really nice lineup. And you know, all the money that we raise in the Fungus Federation goes to scholarship and to advance the science. And we have some really great students. I know people know Christian and those folks.
We have Finestra Winery donated. Santa Cruz Mountain Vineyard is up here. Ridge Vineyard is up here. It's called Sea Bass. This is a new place, a new winery that's just opened up. So SEEBASS, so check them out. The Rock Brewery, Bottom Rock Brewery, we've got some brewskis up here for you. Also, MJA Vineyards as well, donated, Divine Cellars, fabulous. So I think that's it.
Renee, thanks for doing this.